special edition part 2.
Part 2.
Yes.
Back at it again.
Right.
2021. That's where we're at.
Right. We couldn't stop talking about relationships. You know, as we're sitting here in the studio, you know, Leo was like, man, I started asking him questions. Actually, I was like, how did you, like, for real, like, didn't you see the red flags? Because he was like thinking about it and he was just like, red flags. And I was like, yeah, man, that's your gut right there telling you, you know, something's not sitting right. You know, so what were the first things that you noticed that you just bypassed because you were like, I love her, so it's cool. So he was just about to get into that.
Yeah,
Mr. Leo.
What were the red flags?
Get real with us. Get dirty real. Because I want to know. Like, I want to be able to, you know, maybe I can identify with it.
Yeah, so it's crazy how, let's just say, before I get into those red flags, it's crazy how you learn how to emotionally compromise.
Ooh.
When you come across some red flags.
Ooh.
You know, you make exceptions, but at like a deeper level. You know, and you're like, well, if I'm this way and she that way, you know what I mean? I really can't tell her what to be and what not to be. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to be true to myself, right? And so, you know, so getting into that being said, getting into red flags. Now let's just talk about the start of my past marriage, right? The red flags were in abundance.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they're in abundance. Because let me tell you, I mean, and Carly, you know, because this was back then too. You know what I mean? Like, I was bartending. You know, I was making good money.
Good money.
Around a lot of people.
Vegas is good for that.
You know what I'm saying? Had some roommates. They had game too. So, you know, we were around a lot of people. You know, we had a good crowd. But it was that bar crowd. You know what I mean? And so that's how I met, you know, my ex-wife. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact,
bar.
In the bar, see?
So off top, there, right? Was that a red flag?
That's, well, as you're older, you're like, red flag.
You always here?
Yeah,
Monday through Sunday?
You know what I mean?
What?
Getting free drinks and shit.
Dang.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
So, second red flag, she had a fake ID.
Oh, shit. She been doing this since preschool.
But she was 20.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? She was 20 months away from 21.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like 24.
Still.
I was 26, 25.
Shit. I had a fake ID.
No,
and
I was 24 because she was 20.
I was 16.
Right. So, that should...
And they wonder why I don't drink.
Still.
Right. But go ahead. Yes, she had a fake ID.
She had a fake ID.
You peeping her. She that fresh.
Right.
Oh, you want to get drunk? I'll get y'all drunk.
She was that wild white girl with a fat ass.
Oh, that's the turn up queen. She was twerking all over the place.
You know what I'm saying? With no twerking skills though.
Oh shit.
She was white.
Oh shit. Becky,
you know what I mean?
Get your ass out the club. You don't even belong here.
Yeah, this Becky didn't even have good hair either. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
Wait, I want to know if you mentioned that as a red flag, because I mean, I feel like not being equally yoked has lots of facets to it, and like sometimes culturally can be one of them. Like if they can't understand your Guamanian shit, you know what I mean? Then they're gonna be like, what? Like they're not gonna get it. They're gonna be like, what? Chamaru, Chamama? Like they're not gonna get it.
Chamarican.
You guys might not know, but Mr. Leo, he's an exotic type. He's
Man.
He's that
Hey.
So she get down with the life, with the, you know, y'all on another level. Have you ever known anybody from Guam, then you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, on to the third next red flag. She wasn't down with my culture.
Oh.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And so, understand too, at this time, like, the closest people around me weren't around me at that time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We were all pretty distant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even us in the circle here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were all pretty distant. And so, I was out there trying to figure it out all on my own. You know? And then I put those red flags aside because... And you know what's crazy? For 3 fucking years, if you want to do the math. I did that before we had our first kid. 3 years. Mm-hmm. I dealt with all them red flags. Mm-hmm. Them drunken hold your hair. Mm-hmm. Them fucking, you know, just arguments in the car because she's drunk. Mm-hmm. You know, just her mama wow. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. Wow. Mom wild as fuck.
You were attracted to that for a reason at that time.
And it was. And you know what it was, too? Like we talked about on episode 1, you know, I was caught up in that moment.
The moment. Mm.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
I was caught up in that. I was caught up in that moment. And at that time, she got pregnant. Mm-hmm. You know?
See? Wait. When you was caught up in the moment is the time she got pregnant?
About that, because I wasn't really like doing what I was supposed to be doing in those first couple of years.
For yourself or for her?
For our relationship. Like, I was still fucking around.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying?
And so then you decided to finalize it.
Well, it was one of those, like, the value of independence was better off here than it was anywhere else. Like, she had her own place, she had her own shit. I had my own place, I had my own shit. All the other ones, like, still live with their families and shit. Didn't have a car or didn't know how to fucking drive.
So she was the most convenient?
She was the most convenient.
Ooh.
At that time. And then, you know, 11-11. You know.
Truth be told. Dun,
you know.
Dun, dun.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, that convenience turned into comfortability, you know what I mean? And I got comfortable and fell in love. Mm-hmm. I learned how to love somebody.
That was the lesson right there.
You know what I mean? And once I learned how to love somebody else and not me, I never focused on myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Other red flag.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of ins and outs too. Let me tell you, man, the drama is thick within that relationship. You know, and a lot of it had to do with me putting everybody before me. You know what I'm saying?
Mistake number 1.
Like, there was a time that I signed up to go to school, right? And I signed up for the Art Institute in Las Vegas. Right? My first semester, I got a 4.0. Right?
Right.
Lost my job. Economy crash.
Damn.
Lost my house.
Damn.
Couldn't go to school.
Shit.
Had to move in with her motherfucking mama.
Oh boy. That's when the whole energy changed.
Moved in with her mom with 1 kid, 2 dogs.
Oh no, not
no,
dogs.
3 dogs.
Oh shit.
A fucking cat.
What? The fuck was you doing?
Nigga,
McDonald?
A fish tank.
The fuck?
You know, a bird.
The whole goddamn farm. You brought the whole farm with you. That's just like a Guam motherfucker, huh?
Hey, that wasn't even me. Hey, if you really think about it, us islanders, we eat those items. You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy. Yeah, he was bringing dinners.
I'm over here looking at a parrot like, man, that's a chicken wing.
Man, I done brought a whole month's supply, whole year's supply of
food. Parrot adobo.
Oh God, no. Oh shit. Okay,
you know?
So you move in with the moms. What happens?
That was terrible.
Terrible. I can imagine. I can't even date a guy that lives with their parents because I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be over your house fucking you. Like, how are we gonna be fucking? And I'm trying to give you some tornado head, and this motherfucker, your mom, listening to your ass.
Terrible. Hey yo, speaking of that, I caught her mama outside our door one day when we was fucking, yo.
That's what I'm talking about. She could sense
real.
that shit. You know, mama know.
She was right there at the door. I seen her footstep right there.
Shit.
Like, and the crazy thing was the angle that we were on the bed. You know, my ex was able to put her head back and see her mama footsteps at the door.
Oh God! Now you gotta
like
play dead for a moment. That's like when the kids walk in.
Red flag again.
Oh God!
You know what I mean? So now we're married with a son. You know, and we do our thing or whatever, and enough was enough, man. You know, months and months of watching a degenerate alcoholic drink her life away.
Damn. And so that was what, third flag? How many more flags did we go?
This is like flag 300.
Oh God.
Right now, we skipped a bunch of flags just so we didn't take up a lot of airtime, but
no, don't even worry about it.
Man, I mean, dude, okay. Father has Hep C, full-blown alcoholic. Father's wife, tweaker, pill popper.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
Mom,
those are red flags in itself.
Mom and dad are divorced.
Oh.
Right? The mom is still married to her ex-husband at the time and sleeping with someone else. And her and her ex-husband they live in two different homes, but he handles her finances. So all of her checks run to his bank account and he pays off everything. It's a crazy relationship, right? Mm-hmm. The family, when they have gatherings, all their fucking exes are there. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. So the dad's there with his wife. The mom's there with her Sancho. The ex-husband pops up off of work, pops up when the Sancho's gone. You know what I'm saying? The sister's there with her baby daddy and her current boyfriend. I'm there with my ex-wife and her fucking friends that she fucked around with high school. We know how that goes. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was like a true like Jerry Springer type shit. And you bringing a Pacific Islander into this fucking white culture. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like this is new. This is new for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But at that time, like my family wasn't around for me. You know what I'm saying? For me to turn to a different atmosphere. So I got accustomed to that bullshit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then
you accepted it.
I accepted it. Mm-hmm. I accepted it. That's exactly what I did.
And it was a comfort level to a certain extent for you.
And then we said, done, moving to Washington.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
It was like that?
Yeah, I was like, listen, man. I said, listen, my boy moved out to Washington. He told me what the prices are. We can afford it. You know, like, I'm not living with your mama no more. Like, I'm not going to keep getting called all kinds of disrespectful names while she's drunk, doing it in front of the kids. Like, you know, now she's pregnant with the second kid, you know, and it's just like, I can't be doing this no more, man. By the time my son was born, he was a few months old. He had medical conditions, right? And so he had bronchitis, he had croup, he had asthma, and pneumonia, right?
Yeah.
And he was real sick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was real sick. He was incubated for most of his young life, you know, and we made this travel. And the travel is a whole nother story in itself because, you know, her crazy ass sister could have got us all fucking killed out there because she ain't paying attention. Trying to think the satellite gonna work in the middle of a fucking mountain full of snow. You know what I mean? You know?
And this is all going down while she's pregnant too?
This is going down where she just had Gabe. My third child was you know, in Washington.
Oh.
You know, but as we get out there, we get established, we stay with my friends in their little house. Mm-hmm. I get a job, like, as soon as I touched down, I had an interview at a restaurant. I got that job. Mm-hmm. Started in a couple days. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She tied down what she had to tie down at home with the kids, save money, move the whole family out, stay with a friend. And for me at that time, it was like, okay, maybe all those red flags can go away. You know, we really gonna work on our family. You know what I mean?
Did the red flags ever really go away, though?
I mean, I don't know if the wool was over my eyes. I don't know if it was hope or faith. I don't know if it was because of the effort of moving across the state and trying something new with nobody to interfere, you know, it really made it seem like this is what it was going to be. You know, I found a new city that I loved. I can go fishing. I can go hunting. I can take the kids out and do that outdoor stuff that I like to do back at home on the islands, you know.
That's what's up.
You know.
So you got to be in your own space, your own energy.
Right.
Once you separate it. That's what's up.
Right. And for a little while it worked. And then she got accustomed to some neighbors. We lived in an apartment complex. You know, and there's some female neighbors out there, and she still talks with these chicks to this day. You know what I'm saying? And
damn,
they got into our marriage a lot. You know what I mean? Because at that time I was like serving tables at a restaurant. I was doing like freelance landscaping and painting. You know what I mean? Like I was doing as much as I could to try and make it work.
Those are the ones to me that always end up having the problems. It's that trying to make it work is where we fuck up. It either is or it isn't going to work. You can't try to fix anything in any type of situation. I mean, even like when we're late to work, you know, and we try to fix it by like speeding. You know, at the end of the day, we still may get caught up on the light. It's just like you just got to go with the flow and let all the green lights hit you. You just go with the flow. That's it.
And that's what I did, man. When I went with the flow with everything, and it was a long flow. It was a tsunami.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying?
He laughed with that one.
It was a sea. Shit. It turned into a sea of red flags. Damn. And I still held on there as long as I could because I was raised to work it out. My mom and my stepfather, they go through all kinds of shit together. And they've been together for 30 years, you know. My grandparents, you know, they stayed together till my grandmother died. Same with the other ones. Their time's not too far away, you know. And so, you know, that's how I was raised. You work out your relationships. You love somebody, you work through those things. But see, the thing is you got to make sure that those other people or that other significant other you're bringing into your life is on that same wavelength. Those vibrations match. You know what I mean? And so, as Carlucci know, when it goes back into those islands, that Guamanian culture is thick. You know what I'm saying? It's real thick. It's not like any other in these states. You know? And that's where I should have, at that time, really just broke off. And broke off.
And recognize your power. Man, that's power.
But I didn't learn my lesson.
Yeah, you weren't ready yet.
You know?
For whatever reason, you weren't ready yet.
Even to this day, I didn't learn my lesson.
I wouldn't say that. You're recognizing what the problem was that is part of learning the lesson.
I guess I'm dealing with less red flags. You know what I'm saying?
Moving forward.
You know, moving forward. Now, there's other red flags that I dealt with in this recent past, but, you know.
So the universe is going to keep sending you red flags until you realize that these red flags is basically your gut instinct that you're supposed to be flowing with anyway. Your own energy. And if you get red flags, that's like an angel tapping you on the shoulder like, did you see this? Did you miss this? Because right here, this doesn't add up. You do realize that.
Yeah.
But then the ego of what you saw growing up was your parents working through it. It's like, no, I'm like my parents. It's okay. I'm going to work through this.
And I'm glad you brought that up because it's really acknowledging your ego. You know, sometimes you can be so subconsciously narcissistic that you're not really going to see your ego. You know, you're going to feel it's more your feelings. And confusing your ego and your feelings, you know what I mean? That's where it's at.
Everything.
You know? So,
that's where you have to not detach and stay true to yourself. That's why people say that shit. Just stay true to yourself. I see people in these groups, they're literally like lost. And I feel so sorry for them because it's like all they have to do is recognize the red flags, recognize again, like we were saying before in the previous one, it's a moment. And get out of that moment. Get up, get out.
Even your depression, that's a moment. And that's the deepest part of when you go through that time in your mind, especially as a man. I can speak for a man. I can't speak for a woman, right? And for all my dudes out there, man, I know.
Y'all cry. Do you do any fucking thing?
Yeah, man,
I got give a fuck.
Well, we don't do it around. We don't do it around y'all. You know what I mean?
I feel like y'all don't give a fuck for shit.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, these motherfuckers don't give
we
a
might
fuck.
call a homie because that's the only homie out there that's really gonna keep it real. You know what I mean? Like, hey, square yourself together. You know what I'm saying? Realizing this is just a moment. It's going to get better after this. You're just having a little emotional breakdown because all your stress is going on. So all them dudes out there, man, you going through it, man. Hey, hey, man, this is just a moment.
Just a moment.
You know?
A minute moment.
It is. No matter if that minute moment lasts 3 minutes or 3 days or 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? It's just a moment in your life. It's a short amount of time.
And I feel like we all go through it. For the good ones out there, I want to say, like, a lot of good people, you feel you're really good at heart. You are the best lover you can be. And for everyone, we always feel that way. But sometimes we're missing things. And sometimes we self-sabotage ourselves. So recognize the difference as well when you are in a relationship, that you're not self-sabotaging by making up issues. And it's really issues you have with yourself that you're not dealing with. And you're projecting it onto your relationship. That's a huge problem in relationships right now. So, like, work through that shit.
When you have those breakups, man, if you have kids that are involved,
that makes it even harder.
Man, keep the peace.
Yes, because your kids are watching, for one. And
fuck that, man. That shit costs you money.
But still, at the end of the day, like how you said,
no, but yeah, your kids are watching.
You grew up and you watched your parents. They're watching y'all.
They're watching y'all, man.
So you want the next generation to at least get a head start, so it can somewhat bring us back to where we need to be, and that is the vibration of love. Period. Respect each other. Respect each other's perspectives. I mean, and just learn to honor that. Another thing is, when people are in relationships, they don't listen to each other, so there's always arguments. There are times where you just have to listen. You have to shut the fuck up and listen. And I don't mean just let them speak their piece and then go at their throats right after that. I mean, let them talk and don't say shit. Period. Let 24 hours pass, come back, and then have a discussion with them and see if your perspective doesn't change just a little bit.
Well, you know, I mean, men and women do experience the breakups differently, like how Leo said, and kind of like how you said. I think that's a good point to, like, kind of give it some time and then come back and then try and work it out. But sometimes it can't be worked out, you know.
Sometimes
like
it can't.
And then it's important to recognize that and set those boundaries for yourself and then move forward. You know, there was a study basically done. So, okay, let me ask you this. Leo, when you had your divorce with your wife, like you said, like in the beginning, guys don't show it, right? Like in the beginning, you were you all like, oh, like you said, fuck them, I don't need them, and this and that. And, you know, it takes guys usually a little bit longer for the breakup to sink in, for them to realize, like, okay, like,
it did. Really over. It did. I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, mine might be a different situation because mine was a 13-year-old relationship. It was a 13-year relationship.
Mm-hmm. That's deep.
Right? And so, you know, if you're going through a marriage where you meet somebody a year, 2, 3 years, nickel, you know, that's a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of blindside. Like, when you're with someone for 13 years, it takes all these years add up, you know? And you go through the ups and downs of, I'm done with this. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool, we good.
Let me try.
I'm done with this. Like, one time I split, right? I took off and I went to the homie's house. And I stayed the night at his house for a couple of nights. And we were done, right? I was through just with all the bullshit. And she calls me, broke down at a gas station, no gas in the truck. Right? Got no money, got no gas, no nothing. So I said, okay. So I show up, fill her gas tank up, give the kids food. and I'm about to peel off, and she breaks down on this whole, I'm sorry, let's fix it, let's work it out.
Aww.
So I was like, hey, man, that's where it's at. Let's make it happen. Now we're back on the same page. So...
You kept trying.
You kept trying.
That was the ego.
Didn't
want to let go. Nah, I know you love me. I'm going to make you prove to me you love me.
Carlucci, what was your question again? She threw me fuck off.
Oh, God, I swear.
Carlucci.
Yeah.
Hit me with the question again.
No, I'm with it. I hear everything that you're trying to tell me right now. I'm just like, damn, that's just how it goes. That's the love cycle, right? It's like 1 minute you're up, 1 minute you're down. But I don't know. I'm just in general. I feel like when men first break up, you guys just wild out. You guys are just like out there doing your thing. I'm a new man. I'm gonna go get some whatever. That's what guys do, right? And it's usually, like you said, she was crying. She was like, oh, I want to work it out. The first couple of months, it's always usually the girl that's like, come back. Let's work it out. All of this. And
but when it ends.
You went to the homie's house. What went down at the homie's house is what you missed.
Did you go while the cat was away? Did the mice cry?
Was your first reaction I'm gonna go fuck some random?
No. I've never cheated on my wife.
Oh, it's so good to hear that. What? They exist?
Well, I never cheated on my wife. Once I was married.
He's like a unicorn right now. It's just like growing up his head.
Nah, never. Been tempted, been asked, never. Not on my wife. Not when I was married. No. Once the knot was tied, the knot was tied.
Okay, but once the knot was broken, was you like, hey?
Well, the knot was broken, man. There was too much going on in my head. I couldn't get you know what I mean? Like, so I couldn't get to that mental stage to even sleep with somebody.
That's
like,
real love.
You know what I mean? It was true. It was true mourning. Like I literally felt like I lost a part of my life.
Aww.
When you have your kids every day, 7 days a week, you're taking them to school, you're picking up from school, you're going to work, you get up early in the morning, you make them breakfast, you go to work, you come back home, you cook them dinner, you know what I mean? Like, this is the shit that I did when I was married and working, you know what I mean? So,
good band material, I did. Ladies, woo! You out here, you in Vegas.
You know what I mean? So, I did, everything I needed to do for them, and it was my part of my routine every day. Mm-hmm. And when you get divorced, that routine really changes. You know what I'm saying? You don't have those, 7 days a week. They go to 3.5 if you're lucky. If you got a lawyer, you're smart enough to do the correct paperwork. You know what I'm saying? So, you can lose custody of your kids in a heartbeat if the other one got money.
Damn.
So you just the bounce back and how to deal with it is really at the moment. You can be strong every day and you're going through your shit. And then one day driving home from work, you listen to a song that reminds you of something and you have a little mini breakdown. You know what I'm saying? You could be out with your friends having a good old time. You know what I mean? And you flirting with a chick. You take her home and it's just like buzzkill.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like buzzkill. Like, I'm looking at this one like, man, I can't even with you.
Yeah,
you gotta
hard.
Go.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You gotta go, and they look at you like, "What? Yeah, no,
Oh, you tell them they gotta go?
Yeah, man.
Damn.
I mean, what they supposed to do?
Like, oh, you were thinking that in your head, but you didn't really do it in real life.
Right. Like, they gotta go for real.
Kick rocks.
Yeah, you gotta go, man.
Damn.
And they be like, "Well, what happened? You ain't doing it for me, man. You gotta go."
No.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna be like, oh man, I'm stressing over my baby mama and my ex-wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't their business. You know what I'm saying? Like, All
right, ladies. Well, if they hit you with the 1-2, you gotta go. Oh shit.
Fresh out of breakup, you already know.
Leave immediately.
You already know. But
trying to catch you slipping. That's okay. Lean your head on my breast.
So what do you do when you do when you see a red flag now? I mean, I guess so. You noticed all these red flags from before. You worked your way through some of the pain of that breakup. You got through it. You start dating again, and then you start dating again. What keeps you from reinvesting into those same red flags?
So my first relationship out of my divorce, the red flags popped up, and I let it go. So that we done. You know, like first off. You're going to meet my family, but when it comes to your family, I'm going to come over to a party that your family's there and you don't introduce me to none of them. Like, in my culture, that's absolute disrespect at its finest.
I feel like that.
You can't, if I bring my lady into my culture,
right.
If you're on Guam and you bring your lady to meet your family, that's introducing her. If you don't introduce that to that person, and your family's like, she's not good enough for you to introduce us to her, so we're not going to pay her no means. Now you're like in a corner to yourself. Unless you got a good aunt that kind of introduce her to everybody, gets to know her. Right. You know what I'm saying? Kind of breaks the ice a little bit.
Yeah, that's happened to me before. You know what I'm saying?
Like that's if you do it the other way around, you know. Yeah. It's disrespectful. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have no kind of like hospitable skills when it comes to introducing your relationship to your family. Right. You know? And so that was a red flag, and after that I said, we can't do this no more. I wasn't gonna compromise on that, right? Wasn't gonna mostly compromise on that one. I feel that. This last one.
That's good you recognize this shit.
This last one, it was more industry. The red flags were industry related, right? Like her job, or was she? Yeah, like you know, serving, bartending. I'm in love with the stripper. You know what I mean?
That part.
You know.
Oh God! Well, it is Vegas.
You know, I told myself,
where else you gonna meet a motherfucker right now? At the goddamn bar.
Hey, and for the record, y'all introduced me. You started me off in this life, so I don't want to hear this shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Hey, when you learn from your homegirls how to get it for free, you never pay for it again. You know what I'm saying?
Damn. We still got that cash can. It was
good. You know, but you know, this one she's in the restaurant industry. You know what I mean, serving, bartender, whatever, and that culture right there in itself is not where I'm at as a single father. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Oh God! Like that bar hopping and getting drunk, staying out till 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah, man, that gets all played out.
That ain't quick. Your boy no more,
right? We did that for how many years ago did we do that? We started that shit way long ago.
Fuck, man, we was rocking back in 2000.
Man, that's what y'all don't understand. I think for me, the signs are like, if you notice, like, here's a red flag. If you notice that they were tied up in their younger years, more likely they want to get out in their older years. If they were getting out in their younger years, they're more likely to be calm in their older years. It's like they switch. Right. And a lot of people got married early. My gen got married early. And so now most of them are going through divorce or have gone through a divorce. So now they're ready to just be out there and wild out again for the most part. That's my perspective of it all. What y'all think?
Well, you know, to each his own for one. You know.
For sure.
Yes, I gotta agree, and especially just dealing with the past relationships that I've had post marriage, you know, it's one of those situations to where you really have to wake up and go, am I gonna put myself through this again? You know,
at the end of the day, for sure.
Right? Is this truly healthy for me? You know, and you got to listen to yourself.
And why am I addicted to this? Why am I attracting this, I should say?
Right. And if you can't dig within yourself to figure out why this is happening and it's the same shit over and over, then that's when you really need to wake up and realize you need to focus on you.
Yeah.
You know,
or you're just gonna continue with the shits. Period.
You know,
until you do. Until you
now
do.
that you have your red flags, do you have a list of red flags, or is it just you take it as each thing as it comes? Like,
I have accumulated a list.
What are the right things to do for Mr. Leo?
I have accumulated a list, you know, for all my brothers. Take note. Okay. First red flag: if she don't have kids.
If she doesn't have kids?
Yeah, especially if she's grown. If she don't have kids, she better not have been able to have kids, because that, for me, that's like, you're never gonna be a family person. You know what I'm saying? If you're able to have kids and you've just been bouncing around relationship until you're 40-something years old, you're afraid of commitment. And you, my man, are never gonna change that. Why are you the knight in shining armor after 44 years? and let me tell you, if you average,
you the knight in shining armor.
You know what I mean? Like, if you average like myself, I mean, I'm pretty fly. I'm not too bad for a dad. You know what I'm saying?
He's cute.
You know,
he's cute. So
wait,
what?
so wait, having children is a requirement of being a good woman?
No, having the kids is a requirement to be with my fucking ass.
He's just saying if they can't, unless they can't have them medically. Then...
Yeah, because here's why, right? I got kids, right? She's got kids, right? Then we can relate on something, and our activities will be in common, right? If the woman, for me, doesn't have children, now it's different if she can't have kids, right? It's different, because those type of women will want to be involved in your children because they can't have kids. Like, your kids become their kids. You know what I mean? But if you're just the one that's lived that single life forever, you know, that's a red flag for me. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to relate when it comes to my time with my children. You know, my time with my kids or my time with my kids, and you have to earn the time to come and even meet my children. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's not a good balance there, because when you don't have all that time being single, like, you want that time. You know? You don't want to always be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You want to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday every now and then too. You know what I mean?
I say if you're in a relation, if you have kids, you need to be in a relationship with somebody with kids or a kid as well. Period.
Right.
To even begin to be on the same level.
Next red flag: family.
Oh boy.
What's their family like?
Ooh. Hey, you ain't gotta worry about me.
You know what I mean? What's their family like? You know, because when you meet their family, then you understand where they come from. You know, and you got to understand that if you're trying to get into a relationship with somebody and you can't commingle with their family, time to roll.
Time to go.
Red flag.
Boop.
You know, responsible. How responsible is that person? Now, I like whiskey, man. You know, I smoke my blunts. I get crossfaded. You know,
but can you handle it?
I like to do some shrooms every now and then.
But can you handle it?
But they look like the magic fungi.
You know? And so, but I can handle mine. I don't get into altercations. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not a little guy either. You know, 6'3", 240. I mean, I'm not too little, right?
No, not at all.
So, you know what I mean? So, I'm just at this point to where it's just like, if you're going to be on that level, then can you handle it? Can you still make those right decisions while you're drunk as if you were sober?
Well, they are intoxicated. I mean, how...
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know how that goes. I don't think that's an excuse for poor behavior either. I might be faded, but I'm never going to wild out in the streets and show my ass or do anything disrespectful. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Under the influence of anything, I don't really hold people responsible because they're just not of themselves as well. You got to remember that too. Like, sometimes people don't even remember what they've done. Why can't they remember? That's a whole nother topic that we're going to get on when we do an interview with another person that I know of. But they are... when you're drunk, half the time you're not even being you. I actually got so drunk one time on my birthday because my friends decided that I was going to drink the whole bottle. Actually, that was the second time I got drunk. The first time I got drunk, I did do some things that I don't remember doing. I woke up, I had throw up all over me, really.
Yeah, but those are rare occasions that you're talking
Okay,
about.
but still, they are out there. So just
all the time, and like no, like okay, you barely get drunk. It was your birthday. I'm gonna forgive you for whatever stupid shit.
Absolutely. Hey, you have your hall passes. You have your hall passes.
I think Leo's talking about like somebody like, okay, my ex-husband, you know him, he
Right.
Mr. freaking Sergeant. I'm gonna get drunk every fucking night, walk around butt naked with a machete, do crazy shit, get into fights, break stuff.
Right.
I can't deal with that all the time. Like if you're trying to fucking party like that, it's not that type of party, honey.
Right. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You know them. You know, especially when they start talking about politics while you're on a date.
ooh,
You know,
that's a buzzkill.
that's a buzzkill.
Politics or religion. I had one telling me once that, like, I mean, he just went hard. I was like, even if I did believe in how you believe, you just, like, don't come at me first and foremost with it.
Right.
I'm trying to meet you. I don't want to meet
Right.
your adopted religion at this point.
Right. Like we're trying to catch a good vibe right now and have a good time.
I don't even know you.
We haven't even got our appetizers yet. You know what I'm saying? Like
That part.
You know. But no, seriously. But moving on to the next red flag is an important one for me as well. Is can they get along with your friends?
Aww.
And can your friends get along with their friends?
Yeah, right.
That's important.
Nah, I've had that happen.
You know, and that's really for like the longevity of a relationship. That's more when like you've been with somebody for a while, you introduce, you guys have a party, you bring all your friends over. Can that work?
What about, can I meet your mama?
Well, that takes time.
That's even more time.
That takes time.
So don't look at that as a red flag.
Not yet. Well, that's for the family. What's their family like? You know what I mean?
That's
like,
meeting them?
Yeah, that's like, what's their family like? Like, you know, if I would have known that the baby, you know, the kid's grandmother was a degenerate alcoholic that early, I wouldn't have been as invested as I was.
Okay.
You know, like, there's some things that you find out later than you could or you should.
Yeah, that's the next question I kind of was wondering. Like, how soon should you feel like that you should meet the family?
I mean, your heart can only tell you. You know, there's really no guideline. Yeah, it'd be very, you know, one track for me to say, hey man, you should have 6 months into dating some chick, you should meet her family.
Right.
You know, because quite frankly, like, I feel like I really need to get comfortable enough to know that it's worth you meeting my family. Like, see, I never introduced you to the chick that I was dating. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like me, you, and the homegirl. You know what I'm saying? We talked about, you know, that situation and on how I wasn't gonna bring that person around my closest friends just due to the fact that you know I ain't ready for it yet.
Right.
I don't want to keep introducing my closest friends, especially who are female, to a female that's in my life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just not what I'm into. You know what I'm saying? But
I think that's like I call that the revolving door. Like when people have like a revolving door of like a partner, it's like, nah, I don't want to fucking meet your flavor of the week. Like, when you decide this is a permanent fixture, it's like, holler at me, we'll do lunch, you know?
Right.
Dang.
Or I got other types of friends for that type of meeting. You know what I'm saying? Like, not the closest ones, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some ones that you probably will never meet again, you know what I mean?
Shit, I'm good for bringing the flavor of the week.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if I know you ain't gonna meet these homies in a while, then we good, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, if you got good vibes, good spirits, you coming.
Yeah, but if I'm consistent with these ones, then you're definitely not meeting those. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not gonna happen. And if I present the opportunity and you turn it down, you ain't never meeting them again. There's your other red flag. Are they interested in meeting your friends?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's almost a test. Like, how cool are you?
Right. You know? And how they respect their family. You know? Mm-hmm. If that partner, how that partner treats their family is definitely how they're going to treat you. So, if, like, on episode 1, she said she had mentioned that, you know, old boy lied about his mom. You know? Uh-huh. And I've heard another story about someone lying about their mom. You know, my ex lied about her mom and cheating and a bunch of other shit. But, you know, like, when that's who they are and you notice it, if you caught them in a lie, understand that that's the only lie you caught them in.
Right. Right. Right.
It's not one lie.
No.
It's one lie you found out.
Yes. So they've already been doing it.
Right.
They slipped. They got comfortable is what they say. After so many times, a person gets comfortable where that's why they get caught.
It's absolutely asinine to think that one lie is the only lie.
Right. That part.
You know? And you got to be strong and be like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you hit that, what Carlucci said, that revolving door.
Yeah. Exactly. And it continues, and they see it in you. They see the weak link in you. The weakness. They will take advantage of that for sure.
And the thing is it's like the red flags just don't start in the beginning. When you're with somebody for a long time and your relationship becomes distant, and your communication isn't on the same level as it was in the beginning, the passion isn't there. The lust for each other isn't there like it used to be.
Yeah.
The activity isn't as joyous and genuine. It's really more drag and routine.
Routine.
You know what I mean? It really is. It's more routine.
You can tell. How energy change.
You know what I'm saying? And so if you're out there trying to fix your relationships, work on the routine in your life, man. Don't be so stagnant. Man. You know what I'm saying? Just keep that 100 with yourself right there, because at the end of the day, as long as you tried, and at the end of the day, you can say you tried. But pay attention to that, because
where's that thin line between the red flag and this is a complete no, and this is a person that is worth a second chance?
Well, the absolute no is domestic violence.
And when you don't have to change yourself, too.
Domestic violence is the absolute no. You can't work past domestic violence. I'm a non-believer of putting hands on a female. I really feel disgusted about men that put their hands on women. And don't give me no excuse about your female hit your ass, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to hear that shit. You're a grown man.
You can block. I block all the time.
And if your chick bigger than you, then maybe how about not start a fight with your chick that's bigger than you?
Yeah, because I'm going to step on you.
You know what I mean? And get your, Essie the Amazon over here.
Essie the Amazon, calm down over there.
Hey.
Give me high feet, just think about that.
Hey, we about the same height over here, homie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you sitting on the couch same height, eye to eye right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's tall as fuck.
Right.
My last ex was like, you better stop flexing on me, motherfucker. I was like, yeah.
I'll still be telling her that, so I'll snatch your ass up, you Amazon.
Negative. Anyway, what's the other red flag? Moving on, because you still don't move. Next red flag?
Next red flag is, as you're moving into your relationship, the communication and working together as a family is where it's at. Once you start breaking up as that family, man, that's really the beginning of the end right there.
Communication. Listen.
Well, listen. Communication is only key if someone's retaining the communication.
First of all, somebody has to ask.
Right.
Ask, and you will receive. What do you even ask the person?
But if we can communicate and not agree and not get past it, it's different. So there's that's what a lot of people mistaken and think just because we communicate it should work. No, that's not it. You've communicated how you feel. I've communicated how I feel. But now, is there an understanding? Okay.
The problem is I feel like communicating is an argument because you've went past where you were supposed to go. When there was a first problem, you were supposed to address it. I feel like by the time we've communicated, now we're coming at each other. We're both coming at each other. Now it's an argument. We're not even communicating. We're just both telling each other's, we're just both going at each other.
Okay, so I guess consistent communication, really.
Yes.
You
have to constantly be talking to your partner, telling them how you feel in the moment that you feel it. You can't come back later talking about what you felt last week because they feel this way right now.
Carlucci, let me ask you this question. So
Yeah.
I know you can relate. Do you feel that when the major red flag of domestic violence is exposed, that you can completely 100% come back from that?
No. Our trust has been broken.
So no matter the level of communication,
True.
You have.
True.
I feel like I've tried before in the past, and it never goes back 100%. There's always going to be, like I said, a level of trust that's broken. There's always going to be that skeleton in the closet, so to speak. And also, not for nothing, once somebody puts their hands on you, no matter how much they apologize or say they're sorry or whatever, they're going to, at some point, feel that it's okay to put their hands on you again. Right. And so then you're going to be stuck in this cycle, you know, and that's one thing, you know, I know you listened to this show before. Our show really advocates against domestic violence, you know, especially in October, we wear purple ribbons and all that because it's something that women die from. It's something that people's lives get ruined over. And it's not just women, you know, men experience domestic violence too. And no matter what, you shouldn't be putting your hands on somebody that you love, you know?
And verbal violence, just as bad to me.
Yeah. Verbal abuse?
Verbal abuse, yeah.
Yeah. Verbal, you know, just...
How do you feel about that? Same thing? Should they leave? Or what? Or learn to maneuver around it? What?
If somebody's breaking you down daily by calling you out your name, calling you things that you wouldn't even call your dog, that's not okay. The way that somebody speaks to you, that is...
In a demeanor way, period.
Yeah, no, it's paramount. You know, there's power in breath, you know? Like, the things that we say to each other, whether we recognize it or not, it's a vibration. It has a smell to it.
Yes.
It has a certain spirit that it carries. So when you're speaking to somebody in love, I love you, I cherish you, I care for you. It's like, you know, I mean, I know everybody in the world probably at this point has heard of that study. You know, they originally found it out because of Buddhist monks, and then they took it all the way to Columbia University and studied it. They put the water under a microscope, and they studied the water. And to one side of the water, they said positive things. I love you, you're beautiful, you know, whatever, any kind of positive affirmation that you think of. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side, they told the water, I hate you, you're ugly, you're worthless, you know, all these like horrible things. Mm-hmm. Then they looked at the water crystals again. And the water crystals on the one that they had told, I love you, had formed perfectly. They looked beautiful, you know, and the ones that they had told, I love you, the water fragments had formed, malformed, and just like, you know, it looked totally ugly. And so if that power is in the intent that we speak, and somebody's speaking to you negatively every day, breaking you down, you're not good enough, you're stupid, you know, you fucked up dinner again, you're fucking dumb, whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, you shouldn't have to deal with that either. You know, that is a form of abuse as well.
Yes, same with the plants. They did that test with the plants too, so you can test it out for yourself if you don't believe it.
Yeah, you can actually. If you talk ugly to a plant, the plant will die, and if you talk nicely to the plant will thrive. So you think we're all made of water. Mm-hmm. We all activate to certain vibrations, and if you're putting that out to the person that you love, what is that doing to your relationship? You know, and that's why at the end of a relationship, when people are yelling and screaming and, you know, saying all these horrible things to each other, that's the reason why it hurts.
Real talk.
Yeah, so respect each other out there, man, even through your breakups.
Man, that is super important. It's hard.
All right, so respect family.
It's hard as hell. It's a must.
How a person carries themselves. Any other things that are paramount to you starting your new relationships and going on and being successful?
Yeah. Oh.
So, are there any other red flags that you're looking for as you go forward on your path to your new partnerships and new relationships?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, big one too is how they treat, you know, my space. You know, how you treat someone's space really determines how much you respect them. You know, you can go out and have all the attention and the affection and, you know, have all the good times, but when they come over to your home, you know, how do they treat your home in that area? You know, do they leave a mess? Do they help clean up after themselves? You know, do they leave it for you to clean up after? You know, like it's a big key for me. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what I almost forgot about?
What?
100% attention.
You have to have 100% attention.
So listen, we're at a bar, we're hanging out, we're sitting, we're having dinner, we're having a conversation. You pull out that cell phone and start messing with social media. You know,
That's a wrap. That's a bad sign to me too.
That's a wrap, and that's throughout the relationship. Like there should be no reason. And I'm sorry, man. Phones are cool and all, but when I'm out with you, I'm out with you.
Right.
You know?
I totally get it. I'm with that shit too.
The only time my phone is out and I'm answering my phone calls if it's my kids,
right?
If it's my parents,
right?
Or if it's my job,
right?
Other than that, I'm on a date with you,
right?
Whether we've been dating for weeks,
right,
or we've been dating for years,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like when we're out to
100.
dinner, there's nobody. If we're sitting here watching a movie together and we're sitting on the couch, we're enjoying each other's time. There should be nobody interrupting our time.
Period.
While we're watching a movie.
Period.
You should not have to respond to
anybody.
Pete, Pablo,
right.
Paul.
If they're not advancing you in life, period. They're not adding to. What are we doing?
Right.
You know? Okay, so I think I agree with all of those red flags. Now I have to turn it on you because you learned a lot of red flags about other people. But what are the red flags that you've changed about yourself?
Oh man, and still working on.
Okay.
Man, still working on. The biggest one is getting established as a father with my kids. You know, getting past this baby mama drama life.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Stop dwelling on it.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. You know. Just getting past this hump of finances through COVID and all this shit, you know? Mm-hmm. There's no woman that's gonna want to be with any man.
Don't say that. See?
Well, okay.
Already you're fixing your words wrong.
Okay. Well, it's harder for a man to find a woman when he has baby mama drama, financial issues, you know, through court situations because she's crazy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, battling with COVID, having multiple kids, you know, those are big red flags for women to see for men, believe it or not. There's not very many who's going to go, oh, man, this guy is so good. He's a good guy, but he's got this, that, and the other.
Says the man out there with, how many kids did this motherfucker had? He had like 20 kids, all by different women.
What are you talking about?
It was some man.
An episode of, what was our show that we used to always talk about? Ianya, the shit. I can't remember how many fucking kids he had.
It was crazy ridiculous. And he was just like, yup, and if I want some more, I'll have some more. Like,
man,
he was old.
No.
And I was just like, how? But it's how you believe is what will happen. So if you believe that's not possible, it's more than likely not possible for it to happen to you because that's what you believe.
Right.
He had 34 children. He had 34 children.
34 children.
34
and it's
children.
An old ass black dude.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? Why are women still having children with this man?
It's a game for them at that point. It's a
but
game.
This is what he has fixed. Something in his head says, I'm going to have as many kids as I have today I die. Right. And now he's got 34 kids. He set that intention when he said that.
Right.
So it's what you say is what happens. Remember that.
Yeah.
You are the creator. You are the creation of what is to happen to you. So fix your thoughts on how you perceive all of that. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Anybody out there listening, it's you're the creator. Period.
Your demons, your demons. Your red flags, your red flags.
That's
and all gonna fix them.
You know? It's all your creation.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Well, damn, that was a deep motherfucking episode.
Yeah. I'm gonna be watching out for the red flag.
Right? But those are it. From listening to somebody else who's been there, done that. If you see any of these red flags, that's your wake up call. Take heed. You heard it first from Mr. Leo, huh?
Yeah, And I want to encourage, people out there to start thinking about your relationships and how you guys go forward. And as you're, getting through this COVID thing and socially distancing and trying to date online and all these things, think about your boundaries. Think about what red flags that you have going forward so that your next relationship is your best relationship.
Stay true to your red flags.
And there you have it. Till next time.
Sound reaching out.
Dirty Talk 101 Vegas.